Deep in the heart of ancient forests, where the whispers of the wind carry secrets older than time itself, there lies a world of mystery and magic. Imagine a hut that stands on chicken legs, its door creaking open to reveal a figure both feared and revered, a witch who holds the keys to wisdom and terror. This is the world of Slavic folklore, a tapestry woven with tales of gods, spirits, and creatures that defy imagination. Today, we're diving into the enigmatic realm of the Slavic tribes, where every story is a doorway to a past rich with wonder and intrigue. From the fearsome Baba Yaga to the radiant Firebird, these legends have shaped cultures, inspired art, and left an indelible mark on history. Over the next few minutes, we'll uncover 30 of these captivating tales, each one a piece of the puzzle that makes Slavic folklore so endlessly fascinating. So, if you're ready to step into a world where the line between myth and reality blurs, stay with us because what you're about to discover might just change the way you see the past forever. Now, let's step into the shadowy realm of one of Slavic folklore's most iconic figures, Baba Yaga. Picture this, a hut perched on chicken legs, spinning and creaking as it turns to face you, its door opening to reveal a figure shrouded in mystery. Baba Yaga, the infamous witch of Slavic tales, is a character who defies simple categorization. She is neither wholly good nor entirely evil, but a being of contradictions, a helper to some, a hindrance to others, and always a force to be reckoned with. Her hut, often described as deep in the forest, is as much a part of her legend as she is. It moves at her command, standing on those eerie chicken legs, and serves as a gateway to her enigmatic world. Baba Yaga's role in Slavic folklore is as complex as her nature. In some stories, she tests the courage and cleverness of those who seek her out, offering wisdom or magical aid to those who prove themselves worthy. In others, she is a fearsome antagonist, devouring the foolish or unprepared. Her ambiguity makes her a fascinating figure, embodying both the dangers and the rewards of venturing into the unknown. She is a symbol of the wild, untamed forces of nature, and her tales often serve as cautionary lessons about respect, resourcefulness, and the consequences of arrogance. What makes Baba Yaga truly unforgettable is her dual symbolism in Slavic culture. She represents both wisdom and fear, a reminder that knowledge often comes at a price and that the path to understanding is rarely straightforward. Her stories have endured for centuries, passed down through generations, and continue to captivate audiences today. Whether she's helping a hero on their quest or setting traps for the unwary, Baba Yaga remains a cornerstone of Slavic folklore, a figure who challenges us to confront our fears and embrace the mysteries of the world around us. As we leave the eerie forest and Baba Yaga's spinning hut behind, let's turn our attention to another legendary figure, one that shines with radiant beauty and embodies the allure of the unattainable. The Firebird awaits, and its tale is just as mesmerizing. Now, let's shift our gaze from the shadowy depths of the forest to a creature that lights up the night with its dazzling brilliance, the Firebird. This mythical being, with feathers that glow like molten gold, is one of the most enchanting figures in Slavic folklore. The Firebird is more than just a beautiful creature. It is a symbol of hope, desire, and the unattainable, a beacon of light that draws heroes into daring quests and tests their resolve. The Firebird's radiant feathers are said to shine so brightly that they can illuminate the darkest of nights, casting a golden glow that captivates all who see it. But this beauty comes with a price. The Firebird is not easily captured, and its presence often sets off a chain of events that challenge even the bravest of heroes. In many tales, the Firebird is pursued by those who seek its feathers, which are believed to bring great fortune or fulfill impossible wishes. Yet, capturing the Firebird is no simple task. It is a creature of immense power, capable of flying faster than the wind and evading even the most skilled hunters. The quest for the Firebird often serves as a test of character. Heroes must prove their courage, ingenuity, and perseverance to even come close to this elusive creature. Along the way, they face trials that push them to their limits, from navigating treacherous landscapes to outsmarting cunning adversaries. The Firebird's allure lies not just in its beauty but in the journey it inspires. A journey that forces heroes to confront their deepest desires and the lengths they are willing to go to achieve them. Symbolically, the Firebird represents the duality of hope and challenge. It embodies the idea that the things we desire most are often the hardest to attain, and that the pursuit of these desires can transform us in profound ways. Its golden feathers are a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of light, a spark of hope that can guide us forward. As we marvel at the Firebird's brilliance, let's prepare to dive into another tale from the rich tapestry of Slavic folklore. One that takes us to the shimmering waters where the Rusalka awaits, a spirit as mysterious as she is mesmerizing. Now, as we leave the golden glow of the Firebird behind, let us wade into the shimmering waters where the Rusalka dwells. This enigmatic spirit, often depicted as a beautiful water nymph, is one of the most haunting figures in Slavic folklore. The Rusalka is a being of duality, embodying both the nurturing essence of nature and the darker, more dangerous forces that lurk beneath the surface of tranquil lakes and rivers. In many tales, the Rusalka is portrayed as a guardian of the natural world, a spirit who ensures the fertility of the land and the abundance of water. She is often associated with the life-giving properties of rivers and lakes, her presence believed to bring prosperity to crops and communities. Yet, this benevolent side is only one facet of her complex nature. The Rusalka is also a figure of tragedy, often said to be the restless soul of a young woman who met an untimely death, particularly by drowning. This tragic origin imbues her with a sense of sorrow and vengeance, transforming her into a spirit who can be as dangerous as she is alluring. Legends describe the Rusalka as a mesmerizing figure, her long hair flowing like water, her voice as enchanting as the rippling currents. She is known to sing haunting melodies that draw unsuspecting travelers to the water's edge, where she may either bless them with her favor or lead them to a watery grave. Her dual nature reflects the unpredictable and often perilous relationship between humans and the natural world. She is both a protector and a punisher, a reminder that nature's beauty can be as deadly as it is life-sustaining. The Rusalka's connection to fertility and untimely death further deepens her symbolism. In some traditions, she is invoked during rituals to ensure bountiful harvests, while in others, she is feared as an omen of misfortune. Her presence is particularly strong during the Rusalka week, a Slavic festival held in early summer, when she is believed to leave the water to dance in the moonlight, her movements weaving spells of both blessing and curse. As we reflect on the Rusalka's dual nature, we are reminded of the delicate balance between life and death, beauty and danger that permeates so much of Slavic folklore. Her story invites us to consider the complexities of the natural world and the spirits that inhabit it, urging us to approach with both reverence and caution. With the Rusalka's haunting melody still echoing in our minds, let us now turn to another figure from Slavic lore, one whose name strikes fear into the hearts of even the bravest heroes, Koschei the Deathless, the immortal sorcerer whose tale is as chilling as it is captivating. Now, as we step away from the shimmering waters of the Rusalka, we find ourselves in the shadowy realm of one of Slavic folklore's most fearsome figures, Koschei the Deathless. This immortal sorcerer, whose name alone evokes dread, is a master of dark magic and a villain whose cunning knows no bounds. But what makes Koschei truly terrifying is not just his immortality, but the secret to his undying nature, a secret hidden in the most unlikely of places. Koschei's soul, the source of his power and eternal life, is concealed within a needle which is tucked inside an egg. This egg is hidden within a duck, which is nestled inside a hare, which is locked inside an iron chest, buried beneath a towering oak tree on a distant island. It's a riddle wrapped in a mystery, and only the most resourceful heroes can unravel it. In Slavic tales, Koschei is often portrayed as a kidnapper, stealing away young maidens or challenging brave warriors who dare to cross his path. His immortality makes him nearly invincible, but it also becomes his greatest weakness. Heroes who seek to defeat him must outwit him, using their intelligence and courage to uncover the location of his hidden soul. These stories often emphasize the importance of cleverness over brute strength, as the key to defeating Koschei lies not in battle, but in solving the intricate puzzle of his immortality. Koschei's symbolism is as layered as the tales themselves. On one hand, he represents the fear of eternal life without purpose, a life devoid of meaning or connection. His immortality is not a gift but a curse, trapping him in a cycle of villainy and isolation. On the other hand, his vulnerability, hidden deep within the egg, serves as a reminder that even the most powerful beings have weaknesses. This duality makes Koschei a fascinating figure, embodying both the allure and the peril of eternal life. The tales of Koschei also highlight the ingenuity of Slavic heroes. Whether it's Ivan Tsarevich or another brave protagonist, the stories often follow a pattern of quests and trials, where the hero must navigate treacherous landscapes, outsmart magical creatures, and ultimately confront Koschei himself. These narratives celebrate the triumph of wit and perseverance, showing that even the most daunting challenges can be overcome with determination and clever thinking. As we reflect on the legend of Koschei the Deathless, we are reminded of the timeless themes that run through Slavic folklore: the balance between power and vulnerability, the importance of wisdom over strength, and the enduring struggle between good and evil. Koschei's tale is not just a story of a villain, it's a lesson in resilience, resourcefulness, and the enduring power of the human spirit. With the chilling echoes of Koschei's immortality still lingering, let us now turn our attention to a gentler, yet equally intriguing figure from Slavic folklore: the Domovoi, the household spirit who watches over homes with a mix of mischief and care. Leaving behind the shadowy figure of Koschei, we now step into the warmth of the Slavic home, where a very different kind of spirit resides: the Domovoi. Unlike the fearsome sorcerer, the Domovoi is a household guardian, a spirit deeply woven into the fabric of everyday life. Revered by Slavic families, this enigmatic being is both a protector and a trickster, embodying the dual nature of many spirits in Slavic folklore. The Domovoi is often described as a small, elderly man with a long beard, sometimes covered in soft fur or even resembling the family's ancestors. He is said to live in the hearth, the attic, or behind the stove, places that symbolize the heart of the home. While his appearance might seem intimidating at first, the Domovoi is not a malevolent figure. Instead, he is a devoted caretaker of the household, ensuring the family's well-being and prosperity. However, the Domovoi is not without his quirks. When pleased, he brings good fortune, protecting the home from harm, ensuring a bountiful harvest, and even helping with chores. But if angered or neglected, he can become mischievous, hiding objects, making strange noises, or causing minor disruptions. These antics are his way of reminding the family to show him respect and gratitude. To keep the Domovoi content, Slavic families performed various rituals. Offerings of bread, milk, or porridge were left out for him, especially during important family events or seasonal celebrations. Moving to a new home required a special ceremony to invite the Domovoi to come along, as leaving him behind was believed to bring misfortune. Families would even leave a broom or a piece of bread by the hearth to signal their departure, ensuring the spirit would follow. One popular tale tells of a family who forgot to invite their Domovoi when they moved. Soon after, their new home was plagued by strange occurrences. Objects went missing, animals behaved oddly, and the family felt a constant sense of unease. Realizing their mistake, they returned to their old home and performed a ritual to bring the Domovoi with them. Once he arrived, peace was restored and the family thrived once more. The Domovoi's role in Slavic folklore goes beyond mere superstition. He represents the deep connection between the home and the spiritual world, reminding families to honor their roots and maintain harmony within their household. His presence is a testament to the belief that even the smallest acts of care and respect can have profound effects on our lives. As we leave the cozy hearth of the Domovoi behind, let us venture into the wild forests where another enigmatic spirit awaits. The Leshy, the master of the woods, and a figure both feared and revered by those who dare to enter his domain. Now, as we step away from the warmth of the hearth and into the untamed wilderness, we encounter the Leshy, the enigmatic ruler of the forests. This powerful spirit is both a guardian and a trickster, embodying the wild and unpredictable nature of the woods. The Leshy is often depicted as a towering figure with moss-covered skin, leaves for hair, and eyes that glow like embers. His appearance is as fluid as the forest itself, for the Leshy possesses the ability to shape-shift, taking on the forms of animals, trees, or even mist to blend seamlessly into his domain. As the protector of the forest, the Leshy ensures the balance of nature, safeguarding the trees, animals, and streams under his watch. He is deeply connected to the rhythms of the wilderness, and his presence is felt in the rustling of leaves, the creaking of branches, and the whispers of the wind. Yet the Leshy is not always benevolent. He is known to test those who enter his realm, playing tricks on travelers who disrespect the forest or fail to show proper reverence. One of his favorite pastimes is leading wanderers astray, causing them to lose their way in the dense woods. He might mimic the voices of loved ones or create illusions of familiar paths, only to lead travelers deeper into the forest's heart. Some tales even speak of the Leshy stealing children who wander too far from home, only to return them unharmed but forever changed by their encounter with the wild. To avoid the Leshy's wrath, travelers would take precautions before venturing into the forest. They would wear their clothes inside out, carry a piece of iron, or leave offerings of bread or salt at the forest's edge. These acts were believed to confuse or appease the Leshy, ensuring safe passage through his domain. In some regions, it was customary to ask the Leshy's permission before entering the woods, acknowledging his authority and showing respect for his realm. The Leshy's dual nature as both protector and trickster reflects the duality of the forest itself, a place of beauty and danger, life and mystery. He serves as a reminder of humanity's relationship with nature, urging us to tread carefully and honor the wild spaces that sustain us. As we leave the shadowy depths of the forest, our journey takes us next to the skies, where a creature of radiant beauty and immense power awaits the Zmei, the dragon-like guardian of treasures and chaos. Now, as we ascend from the shadowy forests and into the vast skies, we are greeted by the Zmei, a dragon-like creature that soars through Slavic folklore with a presence as commanding as the storms it is said to summon. The Zmei is no ordinary beast. It is a guardian of immense treasures, a formidable foe to heroes, and a symbol of both chaos and raw power. In many tales, the Zmei is depicted as a serpentine dragon, its scales shimmering like molten gold, with wings that blot out the sun and eyes that burn with an otherworldly fire. It is often said to dwell in remote, inaccessible places deep within mountain caves, atop towering cliffs, or even in the heart of enchanted lakes. These locations are not chosen at random, for the Zmei is fiercely protective of the treasures it hoards, whether they be glittering jewels, ancient artifacts, or even the secrets of immortality. But the Zmei is more than just a guardian of wealth. It is a creature of chaos, embodying the untamed forces of nature. In some stories, the Zmei is responsible for devastating storms, droughts, or floods, its very presence disrupting the balance of the world. This duality, its role as both protector and destroyer, makes the Zmei a complex figure in Slavic folklore, one that commands both fear and respect. Heroes who dare to challenge the Zmei often find themselves facing trials that test not only their strength but also their wit and courage. Battles with the Zmei are epic in scale, with the creature unleashing torrents of fire, summoning whirlwinds, or even transforming into other forms to outmaneuver its foes. Yet, the Zmei is not invincible. Many tales speak of clever heroes who discover the creature's weaknesses, often hidden in plain sight, such as a single vulnerable scale or a magical object that can subdue it. Interestingly, the Zmei's portrayal varies across different Slavic regions. In some areas, it is seen as a malevolent force, a bringer of destruction that must be defeated to restore peace. In others, the Zmei is a more ambiguous figure, sometimes even aiding those who prove themselves worthy. For instance, in certain Bulgarian legends, the Zmei is depicted as a protector of villages, using its power to ward off evil spirits or rival dragons. The Zmei's symbolic significance is equally profound. It represents the duality of power, its ability to create and destroy, to protect and devastate. This duality mirrors the natural world's unpredictability, reminding us of the delicate balance between order and chaos. The Zmei's tales also serve as cautionary reminders of the dangers of greed and hubris, as many heroes who seek its treasures often find themselves humbled by the creature's might. As we leave the skies and the tales of the Zmei behind, our journey takes us next to the ethereal realm of the Vila, where beauty and mystery intertwine in the form of enchanting beings who command the elements themselves. Now, as we step into the realm of the ethereal, we encounter the Vila, enchanting beings who embody the very essence of nature's grace and power. These ethereal spirits are often depicted as breathtakingly beautiful, with flowing hair that shimmers like sunlight on water and garments woven from the colors of the forest and sky. The Vila are not mere figments of imagination, they are guardians of the natural world, wielding control over the wind, water, and even the earth itself. In Slavic folklore, the Vila are known to inhabit the most serene and untouched corners of the wilderness, misty mountain peaks, tranquil lakes, and dense, ancient forests. Their presence is often felt rather than seen, a whisper in the breeze or a ripple across a still pond. Yet, when they choose to reveal themselves, their beauty is said to be so radiant that it can leave mortals spellbound, their hearts filled with both awe and longing. The Vila's connection to the elements is profound. They are said to command the wind, summoning gentle breezes or fierce gales with a mere flick of their hand. Water bends to their will, whether it's a babbling brook or a raging river. Some tales even speak of their ability to shape the earth, causing flowers to bloom or rocks to shift at their command. This mastery over nature makes them both revered and feared, as their moods can shift as unpredictably as the weather they control. But the Vila are not merely forces of nature, they are also judges of character. Many stories depict their interactions with humans as tests of virtue, courage, and humility. A traveler who stumbles upon a Vila's domain might be asked to perform a seemingly impossible task, such as retrieving a lost object from the depths of a lake or outrunning the wind itself. Those who approach these challenges with kindness, respect, and determination often find themselves rewarded with the Vila's favor, whether through a blessing, a gift, or even guidance on their journey. However, those who fail to meet the Vila's standards may face their wrath. Arrogance, greed, or cruelty can provoke the Vila to unleash their powers in devastating ways, from summoning storms to leading the offender astray in the wilderness. These tales serve as reminders of the importance of humility and respect for the natural world, as well as the consequences of disregarding its balance. The Vila's dual nature, both benevolent and formidable, makes them a fascinating figure in Slavic folklore. They are not merely spirits to be feared or worshipped, they are embodiments of the natural world's beauty and unpredictability. Their stories often carry deeper lessons about humanity's relationship with nature, urging us to live in harmony with the elements rather than seeking to dominate them. As we leave the enchanting realm of the Vila, our journey continues into the mysterious world of the Kikamora, a household spirit whose presence can bring both comfort and chaos to the homes of the Slavic people. Now, as we step away from the wild, untamed beauty of the villa, we find ourselves entering the more familiar, yet no less mysterious world of the home. Here we meet the Kikamora, a household spirit whose presence can bring both comfort and chaos to the lives of the Slavic people. Unlike the ethereal villa, the Kikamora is deeply tied to the domestic sphere, making her a figure of both fascination and caution for those who share their homes with her. The Kikamora is often depicted as a small, shadowy figure, sometimes resembling a woman with long, unkempt hair, or even taking the form of a bird or a small animal. She is a spirit of duality, capable of being both a helpful guardian and a mischievous troublemaker. When pleased, the Kikamora can assist with household chores, spinning thread, weaving cloth, and even tidying up in the dead of night. Her touch is said to bring good fortune to the home, ensuring that the family thrives and the hearth remains warm. However, when angered or neglected, the Kikamora's demeanor shifts dramatically. She becomes a source of chaos, tangling yarn, breaking dishes, and causing strange noises to echo through the house at night. Some tales even describe her as a harbinger of misfortune, bringing illness or financial hardship to the household. Her connection to spinning and weaving is particularly significant, as these activities were central to the daily lives of Slavic women. A Kikamora who disapproves of a family's behavior might unravel their hard work, leaving behind a mess of thread and frustration. To keep the Kikamora content, Slavic families would perform specific rituals and offerings. Bread, salt, or small pieces of cloth were often left out for her, along with prayers for her favor. Keeping the home clean and orderly was also essential, as the Kikamora was said to despise clutter and filth. In some regions, it was believed that placing a piece of silver or a sprig of juniper near the hearth could ward off her mischief. These practices highlight the delicate balance between appeasing and respecting the Kikamora, ensuring that her presence remained a blessing rather than a curse. The Kikamora's dual nature reflects the complexities of domestic life itself. She embodies the fine line between order and chaos, reminding us that even the most familiar spaces can hold hidden mysteries. Her stories serve as a reminder to care for our homes and the spirits that inhabit them, fostering harmony and respect in our daily lives. As we leave the Kikamora's domain, our journey takes us deeper into the heart of Slavic folklore, where we encounter the Chort, a devilish figure whose tricks and temptations have left their mark on countless tales. Now, as we venture further into the shadowy corners of Slavic folklore, we encounter the Chort, a figure who embodies mischief and temptation. Unlike the Kikamora, whose presence is tied to the home, the Chort roams freely, weaving chaos wherever he goes. This devilish trickster is a staple of Slavic tales, often serving as a cautionary figure whose antics reveal deeper moral lessons. The Chort is typically depicted as a grotesque creature with horns, hooves, and a long, pointed tail. His appearance is meant to inspire fear, but it's his cunning nature that truly sets him apart. The Chort thrives on deception, luring unsuspecting individuals into traps or tempting them with promises of wealth, power, or forbidden knowledge. In many stories, he appears as a shapeshifter, taking on the form of a handsome stranger, a black cat, or even a whirlwind to carry out his schemes. One of the most common themes in tales involving the Chort is the danger of greed and hubris. He often targets those who are overly ambitious or arrogant, offering them deals that seem too good to be true. These bargains, however, always come with a steep price. For instance, a farmer might be promised a bountiful harvest in exchange for his soul, only to find that the Chort's help brings ruin instead of prosperity. These stories serve as stark reminders of the consequences of unchecked desire and the importance of humility. Despite his malevolent nature, the Chort is not always portrayed as purely evil. In some tales, he is outwitted by clever heroes who use their wits to turn his tricks against him. These stories highlight the power of intelligence and resourcefulness, showing that even the most formidable adversaries can be overcome with quick thinking and moral integrity. The Chort's role in Slavic folklore extends beyond mere entertainment. His tales are steeped in moral lessons, warning against the perils of temptation and the importance of staying true to one's values. Whether he is causing mischief or being outsmarted, the Chort remains a compelling figure, embodying the eternal struggle between good and evil. As we leave the Chort's realm of trickery and temptation, our journey takes us to the skies where we encounter the Alkonost and Siren, two mythical birds whose songs carry the weight of joy and sorrow. Now, soaring into the realm of celestial wonders, we meet the Alkonost and Siren, two mythical birds whose songs are said to hold the power to enchant and transform. These creatures, often depicted as half-bird, half-woman, are deeply rooted in Slavic mythology, each carrying a unique and profound symbolism that resonates through the ages. The Alkonost, known as the bird of paradise, is said to dwell in the heavenly realms. Her song is described as so beautiful that it can make listeners forget all their sorrows, filling their hearts with joy and peace. According to legend, the Alkonost lays her eggs on the surface of the sea, and when they hatch, the resulting storms are so powerful that they calm the waters for 7 days. This duality, bringing both serenity and tempest, reflects her role as a symbol of life's fleeting beauty and the balance between creation and destruction. In contrast, the Siren is often portrayed as a more melancholic figure. Her song, while equally mesmerizing, carries an air of sadness and longing. It is said that those who hear her voice may be lured into a trance, forgetting their earthly ties and yearning for the unknown. The Siren is sometimes associated with the underworld, her presence evoking themes of loss and the inevitability of death. Yet, even in her sorrow, she embodies a strange allure, reminding us of the bittersweet nature of existence. The origins of these mythical birds are believed to be influenced by ancient Greek and Middle Eastern myths, which were later woven into Slavic folklore. Over time, the Alkonost and Siren became prominent figures in Slavic art and literature, often depicted in intricate wood carvings, embroideries, and illuminated manuscripts. Their contrasting natures, joy and sorrow, life and death, made them powerful symbols for exploring the complexities of human emotion and the mysteries of the divine. In Slavic tales, the Alkonost and Siren are sometimes portrayed as sisters, their songs intertwining to create a harmony that reflects the duality of the world. This imagery serves as a reminder that joy and sorrow are inseparable, each giving meaning to the other. Their stories encourage us to embrace the full spectrum of human experience, finding beauty even in moments of pain. As we leave the ethereal melodies of the Alkonost and Siren behind, our journey takes us to the watery depths where the Vodianoi, a formidable water spirit, awaits. Now, as we descend from the skies to the shadowy depths of rivers and lakes, we encounter the Vodianoi, a powerful and often fearsome water spirit who reigns over these watery domains. Known as the master of all aquatic realms, the Vodianoi is a figure both revered and feared in Slavic folklore, embodying the untamed and unpredictable nature of water itself. The Vodianoi is often depicted as an elderly man with a bloated, frog-like body covered in algae and muck. His skin is said to be a sickly green or bluish hue, and his long, tangled hair and beard are perpetually dripping with water. His eyes glow like embers, and his webbed hands and feet give him an eerie, amphibious appearance. Some tales describe him as riding a giant catfish, which serves as his loyal steed through the murky waters he calls home. Despite his grotesque appearance, the Vodianoi is a complex figure. He is known to be both a protector and a punisher. To those who respect his domain, fishermen, millers, and others who rely on the water for their livelihood, he can be surprisingly benevolent, ensuring bountiful catches or smooth currents. However, those who dare to disrespect his waters, whether by polluting them or failing to offer proper tribute, risk incurring his wrath. The Vodianoi is said to drag such offenders into the depths where they are never seen again. His temperament is as unpredictable as the waters he governs. In some stories, he is portrayed as a lonely figure, longing for companionship and even forming bonds with humans who show him kindness. In others, he is a vengeful spirit, luring unsuspecting travelers to their doom with his enchanting songs or the illusion of calm waters. This duality makes him a fascinating and cautionary figure, reminding us of the delicate balance between humanity and nature. The Vodianoi's presence is deeply tied to the Slavic reverence for water as both a life-giving and destructive force. Rivers and lakes were seen as sacred spaces, and the Vodianoi served as their guardian, ensuring that humans approached them with respect and humility. Rituals to appease him often involved offerings of bread, salt, or even small animals, thrown into the water to earn his favor. As we leave the Vodianoi's domain, our journey takes us to the fiery realm of Zmei, a multi-headed dragon whose tales of chaos and heroism have captivated Slavic imaginations for centuries. Now, as we step into the realm of fire and fury, we meet Zmei, a creature whose very name strikes fear into the hearts of those who hear it. This multi-headed dragon, often depicted with 3, 7, or even 12 heads, is one of the most iconic figures in Slavic folklore. Each head breathes fire, and each regrows if severed, making Zmei a nearly invincible foe. Its massive, serpentine body is covered in impenetrable scales, and its wings blot out the sun as it soars across the skies, leaving destruction in its wake. Zmei is more than just a monster, it is a symbol of chaos and destruction. In many tales, it represents the untamed forces of nature, wreaking havoc on villages, kidnapping maidens, and hoarding treasures in its lair. Its presence is often tied to natural disasters, such as droughts or storms, as if the dragon itself embodies the wrath of the elements. Yet, despite its terrifying nature, Zmei is also a creature of mythic grandeur, a challenge that only the bravest heroes dare to face. The battles between Zmei and legendary heroes are the stuff of epic storytelling. One of the most famous tales involves the hero Domovoi, who confronts the dragon after it kidnaps a young maiden. Armed with nothing but his wits, courage, and a magical whip gifted to him by his mother, Domovoi engages in a fierce battle with the beast. The fight is long and grueling, with the dragon's heads regenerating each time they are struck down. But through perseverance and clever strategy, Domovoi eventually defeats Zmei, freeing the maiden and restoring peace to the land. These stories are not just about heroism, they also carry deeper meanings. Zmei's defeat often symbolizes the triumph of order over chaos, of humanity's ability to overcome even the most insurmountable challenges. The dragon's multiple heads can be seen as a metaphor for the many obstacles we face in life, reminding us that perseverance and ingenuity are key to overcoming adversity. Zmei's legacy endures in Slavic culture, not just as a fearsome monster but as a powerful symbol of the struggle between good and evil. Its tales continue to inspire, teaching lessons of bravery, resilience, and the enduring power of hope. As we leave the fiery lair of Zmei, our journey takes us to the icy domain of Morozko, the personification of winter frost, whose chilling tales test the character of those who dare to face him. From the fiery chaos of Zmei, we now turn to the icy stillness of Morozko, the embodiment of winter's frost. Unlike the dragon's destructive fury, Morozko's presence is a blend of beauty and brutality, a force that tests the very soul of those who cross his path. In Slavic folklore, Morozko is not just a personification of winter, he is a judge of character, a figure who rewards the virtuous and punishes the selfish with the same icy breath. Morozko is often depicted as an old man with a long, frost-covered beard, his eyes glinting like shards of ice. He roams the frozen forests and snow-covered plains, his touch turning the world into a glittering, frozen wonderland. But beneath this serene exterior lies a stern and unyielding nature. Morozko is known to appear to travelers lost in the winter wilderness, offering them a choice: endure his cold with humility and grace, or succumb to the bitterness of their own hearts. In many tales, Morozko encounters a young woman, often a stepdaughter mistreated by her family. Sent into the cold on a cruel errand, she meets Morozko, who tests her kindness and patience. If she remains polite and respectful, he rewards her with warmth, gifts, and a safe return home. But those who are rude or selfish find themselves frozen in place, their arrogance turned to ice. These stories highlight Morozko's dual nature. He is both a bringer of deathly cold and a bestower of life-saving warmth, depending on the character of those he meets. Morozko's role in folklore goes beyond mere storytelling. He embodies the harsh realities of winter, a season that can be both beautiful and deadly. His tales serve as reminders of the importance of resilience, humility, and kindness, especially in the face of adversity. They also reflect the Slavic reverence for nature's power, acknowledging that even the coldest winter has its purpose, preparing the earth for the renewal of spring. As we leave the frostbitten trails of Morozko, our journey takes us to the shadowy figure of Liko, a personification of misfortune and evil, whose one-eyed gaze brings tales of caution and resilience. From the icy trials of Morozko, we now step into the shadowy realm of Liko, a figure who embodies the very essence of misfortune and evil. Unlike the dual nature of Morozko, Liko is a creature of pure malevolence, a one-eyed being whose presence spells disaster for those who cross its path. In Slavic folklore, Liko is not just a symbol of bad luck. It is a living, breathing force that tests the resilience and resourcefulness of those who encounter it. Liko is often depicted as a grotesque, one-eyed figure, its single eye gleaming with malice. Some tales describe it as a towering, skeletal being, while others portray it as a hunched, shadowy figure that clings to its victims like a curse. Its appearance is as unsettling as its intentions, a visual reminder of the chaos it brings. Liko is said to appear unexpectedly, often to those who are already struggling, amplifying their hardships and pushing them to their limits. The tales of Liko serve as cautionary stories, warning against greed, laziness, and arrogance. In one well-known story, a poor farmer, desperate to improve his lot, makes a deal with Liko. The creature offers him wealth and success, but at a terrible cost. The farmer soon finds that his newfound fortune comes with endless misfortune. His crops fail, his livestock dies, and his family falls ill. Realizing his mistake, the farmer must outwit Liko to break free from its grip, learning the hard way that quick fixes often come with lasting consequences. Another tale tells of a young woman who, after losing everything, is visited by Liko. The creature offers to restore her fortunes if she agrees to carry it on her back. Reluctantly, she accepts, only to find that Liko grows heavier with each step, weighing her down both physically and emotionally. The story becomes a metaphor for the burdens of despair and the importance of perseverance, as the woman must find the strength to cast off Liko and reclaim her life. Liko's role in Slavic folklore goes beyond mere storytelling. It serves as a reminder that misfortune is an inevitable part of life, but how we respond to it defines our character. The tales of Liko teach resilience, urging us to face adversity with courage and ingenuity. They also highlight the dangers of succumbing to despair or making reckless choices in the face of hardship. As we move away from the haunting presence of Liko, our journey takes us to the fertile fields of the Polvik, a spirit who watches over crops and ensures the prosperity of the land. Leaving behind the shadow of Liko, we now step into the sunlit fields where the Polvik, a guardian of the harvest, watches over the land. Unlike the malevolent Liko, the Polvik is a spirit deeply tied to the earth, a protector of crops and a symbol of fertility and abundance. This field spirit plays a vital role in Slavic folklore, ensuring the prosperity of farmers and the success of their harvests. The Polvik is often depicted as a small, humanoid figure, sometimes appearing as a peasant dressed in simple, earthy clothing. His skin may be the color of soil or straw, blending seamlessly with the fields he tends. In some tales, he is described as having grass or grain sprouting from his hair, a vivid reminder of his connection to the land. Despite his modest appearance, the polvik wields great power over the fields, capable of blessing crops with abundance or cursing them with blight if angered. Farmers in Slavic villages held the polvik in high regard, believing that his favor was essential for a bountiful harvest. To appease him, they performed rituals and offerings, often leaving bread, salt, or small portions of their crops at the edges of their fields. These acts were not just gestures of respect, but also a way to maintain harmony with the natural world. The polvik was seen as a partner in agriculture, a spirit who worked alongside humans to ensure the land thrived. One popular tale tells of a farmer who neglected to honor the polvik, focusing only on his own efforts. As the season progressed, his crops began to wither despite his hard work. Realizing his mistake, the farmer left an offering at the edge of his field and asked for the polvik's forgiveness. The next morning, his crops were lush and healthy once more, a testament to the spirit's power and the importance of gratitude. The polvik's role in Slavic folklore extends beyond agriculture. He is a reminder of humanity's dependence on nature and the need to live in balance with the environment. His stories emphasize the value of humility, respect, and cooperation, teaching that prosperity is not achieved through effort alone, but through harmony with the forces that sustain us. As we move from the fertile fields of the polvik, our journey takes us deeper into the wilderness, where the eerie cries of the drekavac echo through the night. From the sunlit fields of the polvik, we now venture into the shadowy realm of the drekavac, a creature whose very name sends shivers through the hearts of Slavic villagers. Born from the souls of unbaptized children, the drekavac is a haunting figure in Slavic folklore, its presence often foretelling doom and despair. This eerie being is said to wander the night, its mournful cries echoing through the darkness, a sound so chilling it can freeze the blood of those who hear it. The drekavac is described as a grotesque creature, its form a twisted blend of human and animal features. Some tales depict it as a small, deformed child with glowing eyes, while others describe it as a monstrous beast with elongated limbs and a ghastly, skeletal frame. Its cries, often compared to the wailing of a child or the howling of a wolf, are said to carry an unnatural resonance, a sound that pierces the soul and leaves listeners paralyzed with fear. In Slavic villages, the drekavac is more than just a terrifying figure. It is an omen of death. Its appearance is believed to signal impending tragedy, whether it be the death of a loved one, a devastating illness, or a catastrophic event. Villagers would lock their doors and windows at night, fearing the drekavac's cries might draw too close, bringing misfortune with it. The creature's association with unbaptized children adds a layer of sorrow to its legend, as it is seen as a manifestation of lost souls denied peace in the afterlife. Despite its fearsome reputation, the drekavac is not inherently evil. It is a tragic figure, a reminder of the consequences of neglect and the importance of rituals in Slavic culture. Its cries are not just warnings, but also pleas for recognition, a call to remember those who were forgotten in life. This duality makes the drekavac a complex and poignant symbol in Slavic folklore, embodying both fear and compassion. One chilling tale recounts a village plagued by the drekavac's cries. Each night, the wailing grew louder, and soon after, a villager would perish. Desperate for relief, the villagers sought the advice of an elder, who revealed that the drekavac could only be appeased by performing a baptism for the unbaptized child whose soul it embodied. After the ritual, the cries ceased and the village was spared further tragedy. This story underscores the drekavac's role as a harbinger of death, but also highlights the power of tradition and redemption. As we leave the haunting cries of the drekavac behind, our journey takes us to the fiery realm of the rarog, a creature of flame and transformation. From the mournful cries of the drekavac, we now turn our gaze to the skies where the fiery rarog soars, a creature of flame and mystery. In Slavic mythology, the rarog is a being of immense power, often depicted as a falcon engulfed in fire or a dragon with shimmering, molten scales. This enigmatic figure is not just a guardian of treasures, but also a symbol of transformation, embodying the raw, untamed energy of fire itself. The Rarog is said to reside in the heart of volcanoes or deep within the earth, where its fiery essence fuels the flames of creation and destruction. Legends tell of its ability to rise from the ashes, reborn and renewed, a testament to its connection with cycles of life and death. Its fiery wings are said to light up the night sky, leaving trails of embers that fall to the earth like stars. As a guardian of treasures, the Rarog is both revered and feared. It is believed to protect hidden hoards of gold and jewels, often buried deep within the earth or concealed in remote, inaccessible places. Those who seek its treasures must prove their worth, facing trials of courage and wisdom. The Rarog is not easily swayed by greed or deceit. It values purity of heart and strength of spirit above all else. The Rarog's connection to fire goes beyond its physical form. Fire, in Slavic culture, is a symbol of purification, transformation, and renewal. The Rarog embodies these qualities, representing the power to burn away the old and make way for the new. Its presence in folklore serves as a reminder of the dual nature of fire, both destructive and life-giving, capable of bringing warmth and light or devastation and chaos. One tale speaks of a young hero who sought the Rarog's treasure to save his village from famine. Guided by an elder's wisdom, he journeyed to the heart of a volcano where the Rarog awaited. The hero faced trials of endurance and resolve, proving his worth not through strength alone but through compassion and humility. In the end, the Rarog granted him a single golden feather, which brought prosperity to his village and ensured its survival. The Rarog's fiery essence also ties it to the concept of transformation. Just as fire transforms wood into ash, the Rarog symbolizes the potential for change and growth within us all. Its presence in Slavic folklore encourages us to embrace the challenges that shape our lives, to rise from our struggles stronger and wiser, much like the Rarog itself. As we leave the blazing realm of the Rarog, our journey takes us to the humble barns and threshing houses of Slavic villages, where the overnik, a spirit of grain and harvest, watches over the fruits of the earth. From the fiery skies of the Rarog, we now descend into the quiet, earthy world of the overnik, a spirit deeply rooted in the daily lives of Slavic villagers. The overnik, often overlooked in the grand tapestry of Slavic folklore, is a guardian of barns and threshing houses where the fruits of the earth are stored and processed. This humble yet vital spirit plays a crucial role in ensuring the prosperity of the harvest, making it a figure of both reverence and caution. The overnik is said to reside in the darkest corners of barns, often near the grain stores or the threshing floor. Its presence is felt rather than seen, a whisper of movement in the shadows or the faint creak of wooden beams. While it is primarily a protector of grain, ensuring that the harvest remains safe from pests and decay, the overnik is also known for its mischievous side. If angered or neglected, it can cause chaos, overturning sacks of grain, scattering seeds, or even starting small fires. Yet, when treated with respect, it becomes a steadfast ally, warding off misfortune and ensuring a bountiful yield. To appease the overnik, Slavic families performed specific rituals. Offerings of bread, salt, or a small portion of the harvest were left in the barn as tokens of gratitude. Some traditions even involved leaving a bowl of porridge or a piece of cloth, symbolizing the bond between the spirit and the household. It was believed that the overnik valued cleanliness and order, so keeping the barn tidy was another way to earn its favor. Neglecting these rituals, however, could lead to its wrath, manifesting as spoiled grain or unexplained accidents. The overnik's dual nature, both protective and mischievous, reflects the delicate balance between humans and the natural world in Slavic culture. It serves as a reminder that even the most mundane aspects of life, like storing grain, are intertwined with the spiritual. the Ovanic's presence in folklore underscores the importance of respect for the unseen forces that shape daily existence, urging people to honor the spirits that safeguard their livelihoods. As we leave the rustic barns and their watchful guardian, our journey takes us to the watery realms of the Navki, spirits born from the souls of unbaptized children, whose haunting presence lingers near lakes and rivers. From the earthy confines of the barn, we now drift into the misty, melancholic world of the Navki, spirits born from the souls of unbaptized children. These ethereal beings are deeply tied to water, often haunting the edges of lakes, rivers, and marshes, where their presence is felt as a whisper on the wind or a ripple across still waters. The Navki are both tragic and eerie, embodying the sorrow of lives cut short and the lingering connection between the living and the dead. In appearance, the Navki are often described as pale, ghostly figures with long, flowing hair and eyes that shimmer like moonlight on water. Some tales depict them as childlike, while others portray them as more mature, their forms shifting between innocence and something more haunting. Their voices are said to be soft and melodic, capable of luring the unwary closer to the water's edge where danger lies. Despite their ethereal beauty, the Navki are not to be underestimated, as their interactions with the living are often tinged with both longing and menace. The Navki's connection to water is central to their identity. Water, in Slavic folklore, is a boundary between worlds, a place where the living and the dead can briefly meet. For the Navki, it is both a home and a prison. They are drawn to water as a symbol of purity and renewal, yet they are also trapped by it, unable to move on to the afterlife. This duality makes them figures of both pity and fear, as their presence often signals misfortune or even death. Tales tell of travelers who, hearing their mournful songs, are compelled to follow the sound, only to vanish beneath the waves. Despite their ominous reputation, the Navki are not always malevolent. Some stories depict them as seeking comfort or connection with the living, particularly with mothers who have lost children. In these tales, the Navki may appear to offer guidance or warnings, their actions driven by a desire to protect rather than harm. Yet, even in these moments, there is an underlying sadness, a reminder of the lives they were denied and the peace they cannot find. The Navki serve as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of rituals in Slavic culture. Their existence underscores the belief that the unbaptized, denied the rites of passage into the afterlife, remain caught between worlds, their spirits restless and unresolved. Through the tales of the Navki, we glimpse the deep respect for tradition and the spiritual weight carried by even the youngest souls in Slavic folklore. As we leave the haunting waters of the Navki behind, our journey takes us to the steamy, mysterious world of the Bannock, a spirit who rules over the bathhouse where cleansing and danger intertwine. Now, stepping away from the mournful waters of the Navki, we find ourselves in the warm, steamy embrace of the bathhouse where the Bannock reigns supreme. This enigmatic spirit is the guardian of the sauna, a place of both purification and peril in Slavic tradition. The Bannock is a figure of duality, protective yet unpredictable, a keeper of secrets and a tester of those who enter its domain. The Bannock is often depicted as a shadowy figure, sometimes appearing as an old man with a long beard, his body covered in soot or steam. Other tales describe him as a shape-shifter, capable of taking on various forms, from a small, mischievous creature to a towering, intimidating presence. His temperament is as changeable as the steam rising from the bathhouse stones. One moment, he may offer warmth and comfort, and the next he could unleash his wrath on those who disrespect his space. In Slavic culture, the bathhouse is more than just a place to cleanse the body. It is a sacred space where the physical and spiritual worlds intersect. The Bannock, as its protector, ensures that this balance is maintained. He is said to watch over the rituals performed within the bathhouse, from healing practices to divination, and can even grant blessings to those who show him proper respect. However, his favor is not easily earned. Disrespect or carelessness, such as staying too long in the bathhouse or failing to leave offerings, can provoke his anger, leading to misfortune or even harm. To appease the Bannack, Slavic families would perform specific rituals. Before entering the bathhouse, it was customary to greet the spirit aloud, acknowledging his presence and asking for his permission to enter. After bathing, a small offering such as bread, salt, or a piece of soap would be left behind as a token of gratitude. Some traditions even dictated that the bathhouse should be left in perfect order, with the fire extinguished and the space clean to avoid offending the Bannack. These practices highlight the deep respect for the spirit and the belief that harmony with the supernatural was essential for well-being. The Bannack's role extends beyond mere protection. He is also a keeper of secrets. It was believed that the bathhouse was a place where one could speak freely, as the Bannack would guard the words spoken within its walls. This made the bathhouse a space for both physical and emotional cleansing, where people could unburden themselves without fear of judgment. Yet, this trust came with a warning: those who broke their promises or spoke falsely in the bathhouse risked the Bannack's retribution. Through the tales of the Bannack, we see the bathhouse not just as a practical space, but as a spiritual one where the boundaries between the mundane and the mystical blur. The Bannack embodies the tension between care and caution, reminding us that even in places of comfort, respect for the unseen is paramount. As we leave the steamy confines of the bathhouse, our journey takes us next to the prophetic world of the Gamayan, a bird whose songs carry the wisdom of the gods. From the steamy, secretive world of the Bannack, we now soar into the skies to encounter the Gamayan, a creature of divine wisdom and prophecy. This enigmatic bird, often depicted with the head of a woman and the body of a bird, holds a special place in Slavic folklore as a messenger of the gods. The Gamayan's songs are said to carry the secrets of the universe, offering glimpses into the future and profound truths about the nature of existence. Unlike many other creatures in Slavic tales, the Gamayan is neither malevolent nor benevolent. It simply is a neutral force that delivers knowledge to those who are willing to listen. The Gamayan's origins are shrouded in mystery, with some legends suggesting it was born from the breath of the gods themselves. Its voice is described as both haunting and beautiful, capable of lulling listeners into a trance-like state. Those who hear its song are said to gain access to hidden knowledge, though this wisdom often comes with a price. The Gamayan's prophecies are not always comforting. They can reveal harsh truths or foretell events that are difficult to accept. Yet, its role as a harbinger of truth makes it a revered figure in Slavic culture, symbolizing the pursuit of enlightenment and the courage to face reality. In art and literature, the Gamayan is often portrayed as a majestic, otherworldly being. Its feathers shimmer with iridescent colors, and its eyes seem to hold the weight of centuries. Artists and writers have long been captivated by its dual nature, both human and avian, earthly and divine. The Gamayan frequently appears in Slavic iconography, where it is depicted perched on a branch or in flight, its wings outstretched as if ready to carry its message across the world. Its presence in these works serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of the natural and spiritual realms, and the importance of seeking wisdom in all its forms. The Gamayan's connection to wisdom extends beyond mere prophecy. It is also seen as a symbol of the eternal quest for knowledge, a reminder that understanding often requires patience and humility. In some tales, the Gamayan appears to those who are lost or in despair, offering guidance that helps them find their way. Its messages are not always straightforward, requiring interpretation and reflection, much like the riddles of the Sphinx in Greek mythology. This complexity adds to its allure, making the Gamayan a figure of both fascination and reverence. As we reflect on the Gamayan's role in Slavic folklore, we are reminded of the enduring human desire to understand the mysteries of life. Its songs, though cryptic, inspire us to seek truth and embrace the unknown. With the Gamayan's wisdom echoing in our minds, we now turn our attention to the murky depths of the swamps, where the Bolotnik, a spirit of the wetlands, awaits. Leaving the ethereal realm of the Gamayan, we now descend into the shadowy, mist-shrouded world of the Bolotnik, a spirit deeply tied to the wetlands and swamps of Slavic folklore. This enigmatic being, often depicted as a gnarled, moss-covered figure with glowing eyes, is both a guardian and a menace. The Bolotnik is said to inhabit the murkiest corners of swamps, where the water is still and the air thick with the scent of decay. Its presence is felt more than seen, a whisper in the reeds or a ripple in the stagnant water, signaling its watchful gaze over its domain. As a protector of wetlands, the Bolotnik plays a crucial role in maintaining the balance of these fragile ecosystems. It is believed to punish those who harm the swamp, whether by polluting its waters or disturbing its wildlife. Travelers who disrespect the Bolotnik's territory often find themselves lost, lured deeper into the swamp by strange lights or disembodied voices. Some tales even speak of the Bolotnik dragging intruders into the murky depths, never to be seen again. Yet, for those who approach with reverence, the Bolotnik can be a guide, helping them navigate the treacherous terrain and avoid its hidden dangers. The Bolotnik's appearance is as unsettling as its behavior. Descriptions vary, but it is often portrayed as a hunched, humanoid figure with skin like bark and hair made of tangled vines. Its eyes glow faintly in the dark, and its voice is a low, guttural murmur that seems to rise from the swamp itself. Some legends suggest that the Bolotnik can shapeshift, taking on the form of animals or even inanimate objects like logs or rocks to deceive those who venture too close. This ability makes it a formidable adversary, as it can strike when least expected. Despite its fearsome reputation, the Bolotnik is not inherently evil. It is a spirit of the land, fiercely protective of its home and the creatures that dwell within it. In some stories, it is even said to aid those who show respect for the swamp, offering them safe passage or warning them of impending dangers. This duality makes the Bolotnik a fascinating figure in Slavic folklore, embodying the untamed and unpredictable nature of the wetlands. As we reflect on the Bolotnik's role, we are reminded of the delicate balance between humanity and nature. Its tales serve as cautionary reminders to tread lightly in places where the natural world holds sway, and to respect the spirits that guard them. With the Bolotnik's watchful presence lingering in our thoughts, we now turn to the Zduhak, a spirit whose power over the weather has long been revered in Slavic tradition. Shifting from the murky depths of the swamp, we now ascend into the skies to meet the Zduhak, a powerful spirit revered for its mastery over the weather. In Slavic folklore, the Zduhak is a guardian of villages, a being capable of summoning storms or calming them with equal ease. This enigmatic spirit is often depicted as a towering figure with wings of wind, its form shifting like the clouds it commands. Its presence is felt in the howling gales and the sudden stillness before a storm, a reminder of its dominion over the elements. The Zduhak's primary role is to protect villages from destructive weather, particularly violent storms that threaten crops and homes. It is said that when a storm approaches, the Zduhak rises into the sky, battling the tempest with its own winds to shield the land below. Villagers would often pray to the Zduhak for protection, offering gifts and performing rituals to earn its favor. These rituals varied by region but often involved leaving offerings of bread, milk, or herbs at the village outskirts where the spirit was believed to dwell. In appearance, the Zduhak is both awe-inspiring and fearsome. Descriptions paint it as a humanoid figure with wings made of swirling air, its body cloaked in mist and lightning. Its eyes are said to glow like the sun breaking through storm clouds, and its voice is the rumble of thunder echoing across the plains. Some tales suggest that the Zduhak can take on the form of a bird, particularly an eagle or a falcon, soaring high above the earth to survey its domain. This ability to shapeshift adds to its mystique, making it a figure of both reverence and caution. The rituals to summon the Zduhak's aid were deeply rooted in tradition and respect for the natural world. Villagers would gather during times of drought or impending storms, chanting prayers and lighting fires to signal their need for help. In some regions, it was believed that only certain individuals, often those born during a storm or with a special connection to the elements, could communicate with the Zduhak directly. These individuals would act as intermediaries, performing elaborate ceremonies to call upon the spirit's power. The Zduhak's dual nature as both protector and force of nature reflects the Slavic understanding of the world's balance. It is a reminder that the elements, while life-giving, can also be destructive, and that harmony with nature requires both respect and humility. As we leave the skies and the Zduhak's domain, we prepare to encounter the Soglav, a creature whose fearsome appearance and ominous role in Slavic folklore will send shivers down your spine. From the skies where the Zduhak reigns, we descend into the shadowy realms of Slavic folklore to encounter the Soglav, a creature as terrifying as it is fascinating. This dog-headed monster is one of the most fearsome figures in Slavic mythology, known for its grotesque appearance and its ominous role as a harbinger of death. With the body of a man, the head of a snarling dog, and a single eye that glows like a fiery ember, the Soglav strikes fear into the hearts of those who dare to cross its path. The Soglav is often depicted as a creature of the night, lurking in dark forests, abandoned ruins, or remote mountain passes. Its single eye is said to pierce through the darkness, allowing it to hunt its prey with terrifying precision. Legends describe its teeth as sharp as daggers, capable of tearing through flesh and bone with ease. Some tales even claim that the Soglav has iron hooves instead of feet, leaving behind unmistakable tracks that signal its presence. This monstrous figure is not just a predator of the physical world, but also a symbol of impending doom, often appearing before disasters or great tragedies. In Slavic folklore, the Soglav is more than just a monster, it is a harbinger of death. Its appearance is often seen as an omen, warning of impending calamity or the loss of life. Villagers would tell stories of the Soglav appearing before plagues, wars, or natural disasters, its eerie howls echoing through the night as a grim reminder of the fragility of life. Despite its fearsome reputation, the Soglav is not invincible. Many tales recount the bravery of heroes who faced this creature, using cunning and courage to defeat it. These stories often emphasize the importance of wit and resourcefulness over brute strength, as the Soglav's supernatural abilities make it a formidable foe. One such tale tells of a young shepherd who encounters the Soglav while guarding his flock in the mountains. Armed only with a wooden staff and his wits, the shepherd manages to outsmart the creature by luring it into a trap and using its own strength against it. Another story features a warrior who defeats the Soglav by discovering its one weakness, its glowing eye. By blinding the creature, the warrior renders it powerless and saves his village from its reign of terror. These tales of triumph over the Soglav serve as both entertainment and moral lessons, teaching listeners the value of bravery, intelligence, and perseverance. The Soglav's role in Slavic folklore reflects the deep-seated fears and anxieties of the people who created these stories. It embodies the unknown dangers of the natural world and the ever-present threat of death. Yet, it also represents the human spirit's ability to confront and overcome even the most terrifying challenges. As we leave the shadow of the Soglav behind, we prepare to step into the enchanting world of the Samadiva, a forest nymph whose beauty and magic will captivate us in the next chapter of our journey through Slavic folklore. From the shadowy terror of the Soglav, we now step into the enchanting realm of the Samadiva, a figure of ethereal beauty and mystical power. These forest nymphs, often depicted as radiant maidens with flowing hair and garments woven from moonlight, are among the most captivating beings in Slavic folklore. The Samadiva is not just a creature of beauty, she is deeply connected to the natural world, embodying the spirit of the forests, rivers, and mountains. Her presence is said to bring life and vitality to the wilderness, and her magic is as unpredictable as the elements she commands. The Samadiva is known for her mesmerizing dances, which she performs under the light of the moon. These dances are said to be so enchanting that they can lure travelers deep into the forest, where they may lose their way for days or even weeks. Yet, the Samadiva is not merely a trickster. She is a guardian of nature, fiercely protective of her domain. Those who show respect for the forest and its creatures may earn her favor, while those who harm the environment often face her wrath. Her interactions with humans are complex, often involving tests of character and bravery. To encounter a Samadiva is to be judged, and only the pure of heart and strong of spirit can hope to pass her trials. One of the most famous tales involving the Samadiva tells of a young hunter who stumbles upon her while tracking a deer. Entranced by her beauty, he watches her dance from afar, careful not to disturb her. When she finally notices him, she challenges him to a test of courage. He must spend a night alone in the forest, facing its dangers without fear. The hunter, though terrified, accepts the challenge. Through the night, he encounters wild beasts, eerie sounds, and strange visions, but he remains steadfast. By morning, the Samadiva appears, impressed by his bravery, and grants him a magical gift, a flute that can summon the animals of the forest to his aid. This story, like many others, highlights the Samadiva's dual nature as both a benevolent guide and a stern judge. The Samadiva's connection to nature is central to her role in Slavic folklore. She is often seen as a symbol of the untamed wilderness, a reminder of the beauty and danger that lie beyond the edges of human civilization. Her stories serve as cautionary tales, urging respect for the natural world and warning against the consequences of greed and arrogance. At the same time, they celebrate the courage and integrity of those who prove themselves worthy of her favor. As we leave the mystical forests of the Samadiva behind, we prepare to delve into the world of the Vedmak, a figure of great power and mystery in Slavic folklore. This sorcerer, known for his ability to heal and harm, will take us deeper into the enigmatic traditions of the Slavic tribes, where magic and reality intertwine in fascinating ways. Now, as we step away from the mystical forests and into the shadowy corners of Slavic folklore, we encounter the enigmatic figure of the Vedmak. This sorcerer, often depicted as a man cloaked in mystery and power, holds a unique place in the tales of the Slavic tribes. The Vedmak is a figure of duality, revered for his ability to heal and feared for his capacity to bring misfortune. His magic is as ancient as the land itself, woven into the very fabric of Slavic tradition. In many stories, the Vedmak is portrayed as a healer, a wise man who knows the secrets of herbs, potions, and incantations. Villagers would seek him out to cure ailments, protect their homes, or even bless their crops. His knowledge of the natural world and the unseen forces that govern it made him a vital figure in rural communities. Yet, this same power could be turned to darker purposes. When angered or wronged, the Vedmak was said to cast curses that could blight fields, sicken livestock, or bring ruin to entire families. This dual nature made him both respected and feared, a figure to be approached with caution and reverence. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Vedmak is the rituals associated with protecting against his magic. Slavic folklore is rich with tales of charms, talismans, and practices designed to ward off his curses. For instance, it was believed that hanging a horseshoe above the door or placing a bundle of herbs under the threshold could keep his malevolent spells at bay. Some stories even speak of intricate rituals involving fire, water, and sacred symbols, performed under the guidance of village elders to counteract the Vedmak's influence. These practices highlight the deep-rooted belief in the power of magic and the lengths to which people would go to safeguard themselves from its darker manifestations. The Vedmak's role in folklore also reflects the Slavic worldview, where the line between good and evil is often blurred. He is not a straightforward villain, but a complex character whose actions depend on the circumstances and the behavior of those around him. This ambiguity makes him a fascinating figure, embodying the tension between light and shadow that permeates so much of Slavic mythology. As we leave the world of the Vedmak behind, we turn our attention to the Topilek, a haunting water spirit whose tales are steeped in tragedy and warning. This next chapter will take us to the rivers and lakes of Slavic lands, where the boundary between life and death is as fluid as the waters themselves. Now, as we venture into the depths of Slavic waters, we encounter the haunting figure of the Topilek, a spirit born from the tragic fate of those who met their end beneath the surface. The Topilek is not merely a ghost but a manifestation of the sorrow and despair that lingers in rivers, lakes, and ponds. Its presence is a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurk in these seemingly tranquil waters. The Topilek is often described as a gaunt, pale figure, its body bloated and waterlogged with hair that clings to its face like seaweed. Its eyes, hollow and lifeless, seem to reflect the endless depths from which it emerged. Some tales depict it as a shadowy figure, barely visible beneath the ripples, while others describe it as a more human-like apparition, dripping with water and mud. Regardless of its form, the Topilek is universally recognized as a harbinger of doom, a spirit that seeks to drag the living into its watery grave. In Slavic folklore, the Topilek is not merely a passive presence but an active force that preys on the unwary. It is said to lure travelers to the water's edge with mournful cries or the illusion of a drowning child. Once close enough, it seizes its victim, pulling them into the depths with an iron grip. These tales serve as cautionary reminders of the dangers of water, especially for those who venture too close to its edge at night or during storms. The Topilek's actions are not born of malice but of a desperate need for companionship, a tragic attempt to escape its lonely existence. Yet the Topilek is not without its own sorrowful backstory. Many believe that these spirits are the souls of those who died by drowning, particularly those who took their own lives or met untimely death. Unable to find peace, they are condemned to wander the waters, forever trapped between the worlds of the living and the dead. This tragic aspect of the Topilek adds a layer of complexity to its character, transforming it from a mere monster into a figure of pity and dread. Rituals and traditions surrounding the Topilek reflect the Slavic people's deep respect for the power of water. It was common to avoid swimming in certain lakes or rivers believed to be inhabited by these spirits. Fishermen and travelers would often carry charms or recite prayers to protect themselves from the Topilek's grasp. In some regions, offerings of bread or coins were left by the water's edge to appease the spirit and ensure safe passage. These practices highlight the enduring belief in the unseen forces that govern the natural world and the lengths to which people would go to protect themselves from their influence. As we leave the mournful waters behind, our journey through Slavic folklore takes us next to the figure of Licho, a personification of extreme misfortune. This next tale will delve into the darker corners of Slavic mythology, where even the bravest souls must confront the specter of despair. Now, as we step away from the sorrowful waters and into the shadowy realms of Slavic folklore, we encounter Licho, a figure that embodies the very essence of misfortune. Licho is not just a spirit or a monster, but a personification of extreme bad luck, a force that can turn even the brightest days into a cascade of despair. Its presence is a stark reminder that life, no matter how carefully planned, can be unpredictable and unforgiving. Licho is often depicted as a grotesque, one-eyed creature, its single eye gleaming with a malevolent light. Its body is twisted and deformed, a reflection of the chaos it brings. Some tales describe it as a hunched figure, cloaked in tattered rags, while others paint it as a more monstrous being, with claws and fangs that hint at its destructive nature. Regardless of its form, Licho's appearance is always unsettling, a visual representation of the turmoil it sows. The tales of Licho are not just stories of fear, but also lessons in resilience. In many Slavic communities, Licho was seen as a test of character, a challenge that forced individuals to confront their own limitations and find strength within themselves. One popular tale tells of a farmer who, after a series of misfortunes, encounters Licho in his fields. The creature mocks him, claiming that his bad luck will never end. But instead of succumbing to despair, the farmer devises a clever plan. He traps Licho in a sack and throws it into a river, symbolizing his refusal to be defeated by misfortune. This story, like many others, serves as a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, determination and ingenuity can prevail. Licho's role in Slavic folklore extends beyond mere cautionary tales. It is also a symbol of the unpredictable nature of life. In a world where crops could fail, illness could strike, and disaster could come without warning, Licho represented the ever-present threat of the unknown. Yet, it also offered a way to make sense of these hardships. By personifying misfortune, Slavic folklore provided a framework for understanding and coping with life's challenges. Licho was not just a source of fear but also a catalyst for growth, pushing individuals to adapt, persevere, and ultimately triumph over adversity. Rituals and traditions surrounding Licho reflect this dual nature. In some regions, people would perform rituals to ward off the creature, such as burning herbs or reciting protective incantations. Others believed that acknowledging Licho's presence could lessen its power, a way of confronting misfortune head-on. These practices highlight the Slavic people's deep understanding of the complexities of life and their resilience in the face of hardship. As we leave the shadow of Licho behind, our journey through Slavic folklore brings us to its grand conclusion with the epic rivalry between Perun, the god of thunder, and Veles, the god of the underworld. This final tale will explore the clash of these two powerful deities and their enduring influence on Slavic culture and mythology. As we step into the final chapter of our journey through Slavic folklore, we arrive at the grand and thunderous tale of Perun and Veles, two deities whose rivalry shaped the very fabric of Slavic mythology. Perun, the mighty god of thunder, storms, and war, stands as a symbol of power, justice, and the forces of the heavens. With his thunderous hammer in hand, he is often depicted as a protector of the cosmic order, a figure who strikes down chaos and upholds the balance of the world. His presence is felt in the rumble of storms and the flash of lightning, a reminder of the raw, untamed energy of nature. On the other side of this epic struggle is Veles, the enigmatic god of the underworld, earth, and water. Unlike Perun, who rules from the skies, Veles dwells in the shadows, a master of the hidden and the mysterious. He is associated with magic, fertility, and the unseen forces that flow beneath the surface of the world. Veles is often portrayed as a shapeshifter, taking the form of a serpent or a dragon, slithering through the depths of rivers and forests. His domain is the underworld, a place of both danger and potential, where the boundaries between life and death blur. The rivalry between Perun and Veles is not just a clash of deities but a reflection of the eternal struggle between order and chaos, light and darkness, the heavens and the earth. In Slavic myths, their battles are legendary, often depicted as cosmic conflicts that shape the world. One of the most famous tales tells of Veles stealing Perun's cattle, a symbolic act that represents the disruption of order. Enraged, Perun pursues Veles across the skies and the earth, hurling thunderbolts and unleashing storms in his quest to restore balance. Their battles are fierce and unrelenting, a testament to the enduring tension between their opposing forces. Yet, their rivalry is not without purpose. In Slavic cosmology, the conflict between Perun and Veles is essential to the cycle of life. Perun's storms bring rain, nourishing the earth and ensuring the growth of crops, while Veles' connection to the underworld represents the fertile soil from which new life springs. Together, they embody the duality of existence, the interplay of creation and destruction that sustains the world. Their stories serve as a reminder that even in conflict there is balance, and that opposing forces are often two sides of the same coin. The influence of Perun and Veles extends far beyond mythology, shaping Slavic cultural narratives and traditions. Perun, as a symbol of strength and protection, was often invoked in rituals and ceremonies, particularly during times of war or hardship. His image was carved into sacred trees and stones, and his name was called upon to bring victory and justice. Veles, on the other hand, was revered as a guardian of wealth, livestock, and the mysteries of the earth. Farmers and shepherds would offer sacrifices to him, seeking his favor to ensure bountiful harvests and healthy herds. As we conclude our exploration of Slavic folklore, the tale of Perun and Veles stands as a fitting finale, encapsulating the richness and complexity of these ancient stories. Their rivalry is not just a myth but a profound reflection of the human experience, a reminder that life is a delicate balance of opposing forces. Through their stories, we gain insight into the values, fears, and aspirations of the Slavic people, and we are reminded of the enduring power of myth to illuminate the mysteries of existence. And with that, we've journeyed through 30 enigmatic tales, each one a thread in the intricate tapestry of Slavic folklore. If you've enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the mysteries of history and culture. Until next time, keep the stories alive, as we bring this journey through the enigmatic folklore of the Slavic tribes to a close. It's impossible not to marvel at the depth and richness of these 30 tales. Each story, from the eerie hut of Baba Yaga to the cosmic battles of Perun and Veles, offers a unique window into the beliefs, values, and imagination of the Slavic people. These myths are more than just stories. They are the threads that weave together the cultural fabric of a civilization, reflecting their understanding of the world, their fears, and their hopes. The enduring impact of these tales is undeniable. They have shaped traditions, inspired art and literature, and continue to resonate in modern Slavic culture. Whether it's the cautionary lessons of Liko, the protective presence of the Domovoi, or the awe-inspiring power of the Firebird, these stories remind us of the timeless connection between humanity and the mysteries of the natural and supernatural worlds. They teach us about resilience, the balance of opposing forces, and the importance of respecting the unseen powers that govern life. Through these 30 tales, we've explored the duality of existence, light and darkness, order and chaos, life and death. Each story carries a profound message, inviting us to reflect on our own lives and the world around us. The Slavic tribes may have lived centuries ago, but their folklore remains a living, breathing testament to their creativity and wisdom. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into Slavic folklore, let us know in the comments below what was your favorite tale, which story resonated with you the most. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exploration into the fascinating mysteries of history and culture. Until next time, keep the stories alive and remember, the past is always closer than it seems.